All right, everybody, what's going on? It's the Arty Show live here, episode 201 on this fine Wednesday in November. As always, Adam the Mallet to the left of me. And tonight on the show, special guest comedian from New York City, Rachel Williams, will be joining us in about 15 minutes or so stick around for that. Yeah, we were live last week. I was trying to think, was the Chris Griggs was joining us last week. That's it.
Chris Griggs.
Yes.
Good guy. We barely talked. He just went off. Like we didn't have to do anything.
Those are the best guests. They just do all the work for you. You just sit there and you just put it in cruise control.
Pretty much. Yeah.
But the Beckham trade still lingers out there. We have no clue where he's gonna go. I think the longer it takes, the closer he's gonna be to the Patriots, to be honest with you, though.
But here's the thing: like, why would we want? It'd be a great story if he came to New England, but why would we even want him? And even more importantly, why would he? We all know he's a ball hog. He's the Carmelo Anthony of the NFL. He wants the ball. He always complains about it. He needs the ball. Putting a rookie quarterback with that might not be a smart move because it's obvious we've switched to a run-heavy team. That's the team we're going to be, a run team. That is what.
Are we run heavy only because we don't have any receivers to catch the ball?
Could be, but the thing is this: like, you have a rookie quarterback, and why would he want to come here? And they say, oh, maybe Belichick. But the thing is, like, he's on his last leg. Like, he's going to get one more good-sized contract, maybe, right? He's his late 20s. The expiration date for a wide receiver is between 32 and 34 years old, right?
Yeah, he's
29.
Yeah.
Right. So here's the thing. If he wants all those targets, wouldn't it be better to go to a place that has an established quarterback rather than a rookie? Because you're going to get better passes thrown to you. Like Green Bay, like Aaron Rodgers. Green Bay's in the mix. So is Seattle. Like, you have quarterbacks there that are more skilled, that could give him those targets potentially.
So the only problem with that is with those skilled quarterbacks come all the skilled receivers those teams already have. So you go into like a situation in Green Bay where you have Devontae Adams, who's the number one guy, obviously. Or you go to, say you go to like, I don't know. I don't even know if Tampa's in the mix, but you go to Tampa, there's so many receivers down there. You go to Dallas, there's so many receivers down there. Like, so the fact that the Pats don't have a number one receiver may be what might be beneficial for him to come to the team.
Could be.
But I don't know.
Also, I'm looking at his numbers. I've always believed he's the most overrated wide receiver.
He's very overrated. He's he's good, but he's not Randy Moss good.
I'm looking. No one's Randy Moss though. That's you can't really see. But like, I'm looking at his numbers right now. I have his lifetime stats up here. Right, he's 3, 4, 5, 6. This is his 7th season.
Okay,
right? I'll say in 4 of those, he was better than really good. Like, he was really good. And like 3 of them, like, I guess, how do you gauge good? 1,000 yards receiving, maybe, right? And maybe his touchdowns plummeted. Like, they're not a lot of touchdowns. He's the last couple of years, 17, 18. Well, actually, 2018, never bad year.
Well, it sucks for him as well too, because he had injuries. Eli towards the end of his career, so he had a quality quarterback, but it wasn't early Eli. It was older. And then he had fucking Baker, who was a rookie, who they just never had any chemistry to clash the two of those. I don't know. I think here's the problem. He's unemployed right now. So essentially beggars can't be choosers. So basically what's going to happen is it's going to come down to a team. It's going to be like, hey, listen, do you want to work or do you not want to work? We can make this work. It's probably going to be a 2-year deal. Knowing the Patriots, is going to be a 2-year deal, heavily weighted to the front end, and then they'll probably trade him sometime next year, or depending on how good he's doing, maybe sign him up and try to negotiate a contract and spread it on another 2 years. They did the Randy Moss type of thing. You know what I mean? I see that happening as the only option, but like, he's gonna realize that when he's coming here, it's gonna be one of those things where it's like, hey, this is how it's gonna be done. We spread the ball around. Well, that's the problem. But then again, you are unemployed right now and you have no job. Yeah. So what are you going to do? Do you not play football anymore? Or do you know?
I know. History dictates, though, he wouldn't be able to stick to that for long. Maybe a little while,
The thing is, he has to do. So the salary cap, I think, breaks open, I think, the end of next season, of the end of the 2022 season, where the salary cap gets a lot larger for the teams. So you're allowed to spend more money. So in theory, he is probably, the benefit for him is to sign for a team and just hang in there and do as good as he can, just so he could showcase himself for maybe his final payday at 31. And maybe, just maybe, you can get like signed up for like a team with like a veteran quarterback who's making his last run, like a Tampa situation. I don't know what team would be that. Maybe it's Aaron Rodgers going to like, say, I don't know, San Francisco and trying to make a second run to like maybe get one more Super Bowl win before he's done, or like, you know what I mean? Like something like that. But
they're saying Green Bay, Seattle, and New England are the
yeah.
favorites here. Now, I don't know though. Like, I think some of Odell's people are pushing this story. I don't believe this because there's like reports that Belichick really wants Odell. Belichick doesn't really want anybody.
Yeah.
Belichick always thinks he can manage. You know what I mean? Like, for me to read that, I'm like, that's bullshit. I was like, no, that's Beckham's people pushing that narrative so that way another team might else jump.
Yeah, and I think the same thing too. I think that's basically probably the idea, because you figure you want to get this guy in, you want to make a little noise. You may want to drive up the price of him for other teams to have to pay him, especially teams you're competitive with. Maybe you want to pick up some other pieces as the season goes on. I don't know. It's hard to say. All I can say is that it wouldn't be a bad fit if he knew he was getting, if he knew his role, right? It's like, hey, know your role. What are you gonna do? You're gonna be a guy who's gonna be on the team, kind of like Randy. No, not Randy Moss, because Randy Moss was definitely the number one guy, but more like Ocho Cinco type guy, right? You gotta come in and you're gonna here's the deal. You're gonna maybe catch maybe 5 balls a game, but we spread it out.
He sucked.
And unless maybe, who knows, maybe they bring him in and him and fucking Mac connect. Maybe they're like Randy and Brady, and like every ball just finds its way into. The good thing about Beckham is, and here's the thing that Mac doesn't have really going for him, is that Mac has a nice spiral, and he's pretty good at getting the ball accurate. He still has some fine tuning to go right exactly the ball's gonna land, because he has some overthrows and a couple underthrows that cost him some interceptions.
He's not a deep ball thrower though.
No, but he's getting to the but either was Brady too. You know what I mean? Like,
true.
I mean, there's a lot of quarterbacks not deep ball throwers, and some of those are just like you're holding your breath as they go. You know, they're no Drew Bledsoe for rocking arm. You know what I mean?
That's true.
But
yeah,
I think it may be beneficial to a player like Mac Jones, because then you have such a good receiver out there. Then where you lack on accuracy and velocity, a really good receiver could actually make up the difference and help you and make you look a lot better than you really are. Kind of like when Brady, when he first started out, and he had like Troy Brown, who could really fix the mistake on the other end of the ball. I don't know. And it could, maybe be a beneficial thing. But the only thing that's a big red flag is the fact that he was with a rookie quarterback with Baker Mayfield. And I don't know, maybe they just didn't like it. Maybe they just didn't. Maybe it's purely they just didn't like each other. Yeah. Maybe he didn't like his vibe. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe he was mad that Baker gets to live at the stadium and he doesn't.
Well, he's been always vocal about complaining about targets. Like, he always wants his targets. So
he also did go from going to Eli Manning, which is a possible Hall of Famer, to a rookie too. You know what I mean? I mean, that's a hell of a transition to make.
Yeah.
But he shot himself out of town. He shot himself out of New York.
He agreed to go to Cleveland.
So. Yeah, because he didn't want to be in New York anymore.
Yeah.
Just as well. I mean, they haven't done much since he's left, I guess you could say, right? But
that's true.
I mean, maybe it was a smart move, but Cleveland was an odd. I mean, Cleveland just looked good in paper that year. That's why, right? I mean, with all the pieces they had, but in reality, it's like you could have a lot of good pieces. Oh God! But if they don't mesh, whatever. I just like you see there's a bounty out there for Mac Jones.
Oh God! Is it because of the twisting of the ankle?
Yeah. So what was the guy's name? Bonds? Was it Bonds or Bird or whatever the hell his name was?
Yeah, there's something there because they were saying during the broadcast that they used to play each other in high school. Like
they
have
did.
Like a feud.
Oh, so they have a history.
Yeah, they have a history.
Fucking, he says, I didn't know you had I mean, whatever. Yes, it's a ref, whatever. But if anything, it should have been like a holding call, right? At the time, right? If it was really that. But maybe it's just like it's a pissing contest. But then the guy, I think his name's Bonds, did a press conference the other day, and he says he kind of like did a silent dog whistle to all the defensive ends out there, and he goes, "Well, I just want to say, better watch out for all the DEs out there, or something like that." And he's like, "Is he like calling like a bounty out to get like Mac Jones?" I'm like, "Is this gonna get like?" Is gonna be some high school drama shit going on here or something? What's going on here?
It did look dirty. Like, you look at the still image. It was, but I love it. I love it.
Fucking hates the guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, listen, like sometimes like you'll play and like you get that like fuck it, you have an opportunity like to give a little jab into someone. And like, all right, well, call me for a penalty, whatever. You know, and what's the biggest?
Yeah, Brian Burns, yes.
Brian Burns, that's what it's not Bonds, Burns. Yeah, maybe he just hates the guy. Maybe it's just kind of like, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Okay, I like that aggression. Listen, a guy like Mac Jones who's been taking hits the way he's doing, he's not a pussy. He's
God, no, he's been taking some
kind of
shots.
scary how many times he's been. It kind of reminds me of kind of like a what the hell is his name? The one they got in the Indianapolis. All those the fucking after Peyton, who was the fucking quarterback for Indianapolis?
Oh, Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck, yeah, his first couple seasons when he was getting pounded with the fight, it's like they had no offensive line. He was just getting fucking destroyed.
Yeah, and Matt, do you think Brady could take the hits that Mac is taking?
Maybe 20 years ago. Yeah,
now.
No, not 45-year-old senior. I mean, that's why Brady depends on his offensive line. I mean, God, but just look at the year that Brady didn't have a really good offensive line. I think it was like 2012, whatever the year before they won the Super Bowl against Seattle. I think he was on his ass every single fucking game. You know, it's
Let's look at his sack numbers here. I'm gonna look at his sack numbers.
Who, Brady? How many times have you been sacked?
Like by year, I bet it's gone down considerably because I think players they've even said, what was his name? Brennan Merriweather, you know, he's on Touch and Rich every once in a while. He says, like, no, players don't want to tackle him. They're afraid to get a flag because he's Tom Brady.
Yeah, it's like you don't want to follow LeBron going up for a layup because you know you're gonna get called for it, even though he's punching you as he's going up to the basket, right?
All right, sack total. He's been sacked in his career. It's probably 533 times. Tom Brady.
Over 20 years, 500. Say,
I don't know if that's a lot.
So all right, so let's break it down. So
I have the counts here by year, actually. Here we go.
Okay, so we'll call it 500 times over 20 years, right? So that means it's 250 times over 10 years. That means it's 125 times over 5 years. So that's 25 times a year, about.
I don't know if that's a lot. And some of them probably aren't like hard hits. Like, okay, so the year you're talking about, I'm assuming is 2013 because he was sacked 40 times.
Maybe that's what it was. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. It seemed like he was on his ass every single time he like looked at the ball.
His rookie year, though, was the most, 41.
Okay.
So this year so far, 12.
41 in 2001, huh? But you gotta remember that was like a brand new offensive line too. I mean, a lot of those guys were just kind of like. I mean, listen, look what they did to Bledsoe, that offensive line.
It's true. They have gone down though. Oh wow, his last year with the Patriots. No, in 2016 with the Patriots, only 15 times.
Okay, and I think that's the year that Skalmecchia came back too, right? After
but that's the year he only played 12 games. Remember the suspension?
Oh yeah. So that makes sense. So roughly about 25 times a year he's getting sacked. So that's roughly about twice a game, give or take. Yeah. That doesn't sound too bad.
That's not bad.
No. I mean, you figure twice a game, you're gonna get at least one sack. And is it a real sack or is it like a kind of like you're falling down kind of thing or whatever like that? It's penetration of the pocket, if you will.
Penetration. Yeah.
Speaking of penetration, I got my Go Panthers. I got this free little Panthers thing at the game the other day. And I love the fact you can get doubles there. So you can go up to the lady who's like, can I get a vodka soda? And she's like, I go, actually, can I get two? And she's like, well, you just want a double? And I go, yeah, I'll take a double. I go, can I get 2 doubles? And she's like, yeah, that's basically 4 drinks she gave me at once. So awesome. 3 times I went up there, I got 2 hands of doubles. So I was drinking 4 drinks at every I was drinking 4 drinks, basically.
That's pretty fucking awesome, dude.
But you figure they didn't really, they're measured pours, and I have a bit of a tolerance to vodka, so I was feeling pretty good. And it was like nice. I was like 65 degrees outside, so it wasn't too crazy. But then I looked at my tab. I spent over $125 on booze at the game, which is terrible when you consider you were only sitting there for 2.5 hours. I spent $100 in booze. So
I assume you got the ball rolling before you were in the building then.
Right? Yeah, it was funny because we got down there so early. There was a bar across the street. There's not many like places you could drink, so there was a bar across the street we popped into. It was actually an old gas station, and I had a few drinks there. And then I started getting a headache, so we walked to a 7-Eleven. You could buy singles in the 7-Elevens in North Carolina. So I bought like a 20-ounce Truly, and I put it in a paper bag and just drank it on my way to the stadium. But there was like this designated area outside the stadium where they let people drink. Like people were bringing cases of beer and just setting them up in this like park, and like the cops were there and they didn't really say anything as long as you stayed within the limits of this park next to the stadium. They really didn't give a shit. So I was like, all right. So I was just having a drink there, and then I went to the game. But
it's a good deal.
We went out for dinner the night before. Our tab after the tip was $323. My steak was $119.
Were you surprised? Or did you see it going that way? Or did you look at the bill and like, shit?
No, we knew it. So this place we went to, was basically the same place we went to when me and Eric went down to the Charlotte game. So I knew what I was getting into. But yeah, that was basically it. But all right, it was 8:15. We'll bring in our guest here tonight, all the way from New York City.
Mike is muted. Oh boy.
What's up?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on?
Hi guys, how are you?
Awesome. How you doing?
Good. You
Not bad.
Are you joining us from I'm assuming New York, right? That's where you are right
Yes, New York.
now. Nice.
That's where we are.
Yeah.
What are you drinking?
I got a Sam Adams cherry wheat.
Nice. Very nice.
In fact, I just went to the liquor store and I just every last bottle they have because it's hard to find. So when I find it, like wipe them out. So I just bought like 2 cases of it. And
yeah, for sure.
You know. But thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, I don't even know what to expect. What are we doing today?
We're just gonna chit chat. Anything you like, whatever you like. What do you have? Anything? It's pretty much like like an open table discussion. Is anything bothering you? Is anything really making you mad or happy?
Yeah, man. Yeah. My dog got eye surgery recently, and everything was going great. And then the eye got messed up again within 2 weeks. So.
Oh God, that sucks. Same eye too, huh?
Same eye. I'm looking down the barrel of another hefty surgery fee.
No, you shouldn't have to pay. You're gonna have to pay for that. That sucks. That's bullshit.
I know. I'm like, who do you talk? Like, it's not like I want a refund. It's like, what, on eye surgery? What are you talking?
Well, how old's the dog?
8 months.
Oh, that's it.
Oh my God, that's it, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I guess you could always buy glasses for the dogs.
It's always bad when it's around that time where, let's say, like 12 years old, and it's like,
yeah,
what do you do?
Right. You're like what?
Yeah, eye surgery.
But 8 months, yeah, you got it.
Exactly. Yeah, like my sister, her dog just went blind, and he's 9 years old, and I'm like, okay, like it's just like, what do we? He's like, we might do chemo, and I'm like,
Jesus,
what?
Yeah.
Like you're just.
The dog's complaining. He's like, yeah, I can't see. It sucks.
He's just banging into stuff.
Walking down walls and stuff.
Yeah. Exactly.
Luckily for dogs, their sense of smell, I believe, is their primary sense. So I think
yeah. You would think, but he keeps banging into stuff. So
but my brother's girlfriend has a dog, and the dog was like 18 and like blind and deaf and would just stare at the wall. It was actually kind of funny and kind of sad at the same time. It just stare at the wall. That's it.
Wait, did you say 18?
Yeah, 18.
Oh God.
Wow.
Yeah, staring at the wall.
Imagine we treated humans like that. Like when they go blind, we're just like, yeah, we gotta put them down.
We kind of do. We put him in a home.
It's like a 12-year-old kid. We're like, take him out.
Yeah.
Put him down. Survival of the fittest.
You need corrective lenses? Sorry, kid.
Yeah, right. I often say that, like, if it ever came to like the end of the world, I would be one of the first to go.
You think so?
Oh yeah, I have contacts in, but I'm basically legally blind without them.
Oh God.
Can't really run that fast, like I'm just, I'm going.
Yeah, I don't think 1-800-lenses is working if there's an Armageddon going on.
Exactly, 1-800 contacts.
I've had these contacts in for 60 days. They're only good for 30 and I can't see.
Exactly.
I lost my glasses. I don't know where they are. I can't find them anywhere.
I only got one lens.
Right.
You're like a burnt out CVS going through all like the readers they got there to try to find one.
Yeah.
So are you originally from New York or are you a transplant?
Yeah, I'm from Long Island.
Oh, you are? Nice. What part?
Are you familiar? Huntington.
A little bit. Oh, yeah. I had my buddy in college was from Islip.
Oh, nice. Where'd you go to college?
We went to Wentworth up in Boston.
Oh, I thought you were like confused. You were like, where did I go again?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, exactly.
He was from Islip.
Islip, right near me.
Yeah,
for sure.
Went up. So in fact, I used to go. We went to a couple Yankee Sox games back in the day. In those days,
Nice.
For like you take like the Chinese bus for like $15.
Oh, exactly. Oh, I thought it was like $1.
Sometimes it is. Yeah, it depends.
Yeah.
The Feng Hua bus.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can ride with chickens. And
There's
Exactly.
chickens. Yeah,
People did. People do.
Yeah. I mean, you
Yeah.
risk almost dying. I mean, it's a toss up if you're gonna make it there or not. But I mean,
Right, exactly. Talk about blind, like it's usually like a guy behind the wheel that's like possibly 800 years old. You're like, what are we doing?
Yeah, this guy, the NTSB was like, yeah, this guy has been driving for 2 days straight without any rest. I'm like, oh, that's why he hit an overpass. I'm like, that makes sense.
Right.
But yeah, we went to I went to Islip once in college, and man, it was like such a pain in the ass because we missed the ferry from Bridgeport rather, in Connecticut to cut across the Sound.
Yeah.
And he's like, he goes, what's the options? And he's like, well, we could stay here for an extra night and take the ferry tomorrow, or we just drive like 9 hours around into New York, just to come right back, basically parallel to where we were.
Wait, the ferry wasn't coming again?
It was something happened. It was during like the winter time or something like that.
Okay.
It was something.
Yeah, it like happens only once a day at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just ridiculous. And I think it brings it to like, was it Blue not Blue Oyster? Where the hell is Oyster Bay?
Yes, yeah.
And it cuts the trip off in like 4 hours.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
Or
my family and I used to always take that because we have family in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a huge just cut across.
Well, if any of you guys were curious, I'm sorry to announce, but the Feng Hua, they lost their license in 2013 because of safety violations.
I'm truly shocked.
It's shocking, right?
I'm truly shocked, and I'm devastated. I know.
No, right? It's true.
I want to know what pushed it over the edge when they were finally like, okay, come on.
I'm digging.
I know there was a fiery crash somewhere on I-95 in Connecticut that caused some issues that may or not have been resolved to that, but I have no idea. I mean,
I just feel like someone just did like a chicken sacrifice on the bus, and they're like, take it out, take them out,
cooking them in the back.
Yeah.
Like, why is there a goat walking by me? This is the oddest thing ever. Like, don't have a ticket. So you're familiar with probably hanging out in Penn, the Port Authority, waiting for buses and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, the Port Authority, and more Penn Station was my thing.
Okay, yeah.
When I was traveling from Long Island to Manhattan.
Yep. Was it Long Island Railroad?
Yep, exactly.
A good time.
Which is, Penn Station, man. What a circus.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What a circus. And it's gotten worse, because they just were like, what, just let them all move, let all the homeless move in, which I'm like, I don't want to be like, fucking kill the homeless, but I'm like, they used to, but it's like now, it's their domain.
Yeah. I haven't probably been there in years. Last time I did, I took the train from Boston, the Amtrak, so it drops you off in Penn. But I just have to, you go down to the barrels of the building, right? You're going 5-6 stories down. It's like you're in the dungeon. You send that. It's like every floor you get down to is a different story of a really bad, scary novel. It's It's like, this one I'll survive. I'm like, well, this one's a little sketchy. I'm like, I don't know what that guy's doing over there. I'm like, this one smells like it's like.
And this one smells like Aunt Annie's. Why? Okay, let's keep going.
Following the smell. I'm like, I'm not sure.
That Aunt Annie's that has been there for 100 years.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I like how in New York you guys have the grades for restaurants. That's an interesting thing.
You guys don't have that in Massachusetts?
No, there's a numbering system or something. We just recently got some numbering system, I guess. But the first time I ever seen a grade was in New York, and it was like, this place got a B. I'm like, well, why didn't I get an A? I'm like, this place got a D. I'm like, well, I'm not going there.
Don't eat there. Don't eat there. Yeah. Yeah.
What constitutes it to get an A to a B? I'm like, well, was it something bad? Is it the refrigerators was broken, or was it there was mice and there's a dead rat there? Like,
exactly, yeah. I know there was a bar that I used to frequent all the time, and it got shut down, shut down because of rat feces and stuff. It was really not okay. Yeah. I mean, I've heard I worked in a restaurant that got a B, and it was it wasn't that big. It was the eggs were left out of the fridge, and she spotted it, the inspector, and you're just like, oh, damn, that's it. That's all it takes.
But let's be honest. Is there any restaurant in New York or in any city for that matter that probably doesn't have, you just don't want to see them. If you see them, that's bad. But I feel like all of them have them. It's impossible. right?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
impossible, right?
Boston's the same way though. I mean, there's places that I'm sure you frequent too in New York. That like you go like, yeah, I'll drink there. Like definitely won't eat there.
Exactly. You're like, alcohol won't pick up too much bacteria, but that chicken wing that's been in there for 36 hours will.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, Adam and I were at a strip club once, and there was two guys eating chicken wings at the bar.
So
and
gross.
they were really they were licking their fingers. They were really getting into it. And I looked over to him. I go, "This is not the place." Which I would say, "Hey, you know what I could go for right now? Some like food that I have to use my
finger food."
Yeah.
Yeah. They served pizza too, but like these two Asian guys are just mowing down chicken wings. I'm just like, oh god, that was more disgusting. And there were some girls that were not that attractive at all. And like those guys took the cake. I don't know what it was about seeing two Asians mow down chicken wings.
It was in.
I guess it wasn't a very popular strip club.
No, it was in a bad neighborhood in Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh my god, that's great.
Yeah. And we were the only two survived. Oh, actually, there was three of us that survived the night. The other one disappeared into the room, and I don't fucking know what happened.
Return.
Well, he did.
I lost a friend that night.
He did, but he had a story of like a young man who just came back from World War II. Christ, this is supposed to be a fun weekend out, guys. I don't know what happened to this.
It's really funny.
So do you live in Manhattan now, or in the boroughs?
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn,
yeah. Greenpoint, Brooklyn.
Been
here for about 3 years now, and I love it.
Oh, nice. So you got in there right before the whole place shut down. That's cool.
Oh no. Well, I was in Queens before that.
Oh, okay.
And I've probably been in the boroughs for like 12 years now.
Okay. Oh, all right.
The
good of time.
Yeah, I knew a lot of people though, like especially some comics that happened to move right before the city shut down, and I'm like, wow. To be in this city alone in a pandemic. Oof.
That's bad timing.
Yeah.
Or even worse, those people that decided to move to LA right before this pandemic.
Yeah.
Right.
LA
also a very lonely city.
Yeah.
Very bad.
You know what
did you guys do?
Boston wasn't really that shut down too much, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, like the comedy scene kind of slowed down a little bit. Because the reason the comedy scene shut down was because they made this rule in which you couldn't be open as a restaurant unless you served food. So a lot of these comedy clubs, they only have a liquor license, they don't have any food or anything. So a lot of them shut down. But then they were doing this thing where like if you never served food before, people were getting like food trucks. They were trying to like this like loophole. So if you put a food truck out, or some guys out there on barbecue cooking sausages or something like that, so that was fine for like 4 or 5 months, and then they were like, oh no, you can't do that. You have to have a kitchen. So then these places were like, all right, sorry, we can't do anything. And other places were like, oh, we'll just put a kitchen in. You know, and I mean, people like they were getting chips and salsa out at some places just to concentrate.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, it survived a little bit. I mean, that's how
I saw people giving out just hot dog buns. Just hot dog buns. I was like, is there meat in there? It was just a hot dog. I'm like, all right, let's do this.
This is a vegan hot dog.
It's funny because our Italian area in the North End, they decided to just say fuck it, and they just pushed everything out onto the street, which by the way, the street is already like really tiny.
Oh yeah.
So they decided to have like all these restaurants.
So what they did was they took out like they took out everything out, and then they put like their furniture out there, like their sofas and stuff on the streets. So and these ballsy like frigging Palisans were basically like, so my restaurant's next to a bank. Well, the bank doesn't need sidewalk access for a restaurant, so I'm just going to take it as far to the next restaurant. And there was like a turf war of which restaurant, how far they could go. And you had all these old Italian guys. Like, hey, my line's right there. They're drawing lines in the sidewalk, and like I can push my stuff up to here. And
now, are you guys in Boston?
Just outside.
We work in Boston, but yeah, we're out in the burbs. So
okay.
We grew up like, I don't know, Brooklyn to Manhattan is probably where we grew up towards downtown Boston.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So we'd go into the city, go to North End. It's like, yeah, I can't get a car down the street, but like, there's restaurants elbow to elbow. And it's funny because it's like, you're like, oh, everyone got to be 6 feet apart, and everyone's on top of each other out in the sidewalk.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But
I just saw a meme recently that was like, look at this stupidity. And it like showed like a line of people in the airport 6 feet apart, 6 feet apart, 6 feet. And then it's like, and then the next photo is just them on a plane. Like sitting next to each other. And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, we're pretty dumb.
Yeah. I was down at I flew out to Charlotte last week for the Patriots game, and I get to the airport Monday morning to fly back home, and literally the security line was I'm not even doubt like 1,000 people deep before the security gate even opened. I'm like, well, I don't think I'm making this flight, and people are literally on top of each other. I mean, so you got like you said, everyone's like on top of each other, you're wearing the mask. Like, okay, and then you're on the airplane. It's like, what the fuck?
Okay, yeah, you're just like, okay, this is where I get it. That's really sad.
It makes no sense at all,
Yeah.
The stuff getting
Dang, I can't believe it didn't really shut down though. We shut down.
Oh yeah. We were watching, and I was like, damn.
We shut down. Yeah.
I mean, I never really God, I mean, other than not being able to go to like a Sox game or something like that for like last summer. I mean, that was about that's probably the thing that probably hurt me the most, was not being able to go to a stadium. You know what I mean?
That's really funny. That was like your peak.
Yeah, like that was my like.
People were stuck inside for like six months, and you're like, I couldn't go to a baseball game. That was really a big bummer for me.
But we could go to a baseball game because all the bars outside of Fenway were all open. So like,
oh my god,
next to the stadium while a game.
Perfect.
So it was like the closest you could get there. And it's like, all right, well, whatever. We'll make what it is. But like, yeah, New York, you guys had it bad.
Man, it was sad to see those professional games and like nobody in the stands. You're just like, oh, this is the most depressing thing I've ever seen.
Where is everybody?
I mean, Arty, we kind of had it in a good way in the sense that like we weren't like most people working from home. You and I have like old school bosses who were like, get your ass into the office.
Yeah, we weren't not allowed.
Oh, really?
We weren't allowed. I think I worked for home 2 months. Maybe, and every week it was like, you still want to do it? And I'm like, how long can I milk this for? Because I liked waking up 5 minutes before I had to log in and stay in my pajamas all day.
I mean,
and then
hell yeah,
eating lunch, making lunch downstairs in the kitchen, like doing errands, without having to question anyone, just disappear.
Oh yeah, I just watched. I was home. I was at my parents' house the other day, and so was my sister, and she's still working from home. And I watched her go on the computer and then step off. 5 minutes later, make a cake.
Yeah.
Took her dog for a walk, came back, was like, oh, I should do some work. I'm like, you should do some work. Like, why are you talking? How are you still employed?
It's great. Even right now, I'm not wearing pants. I mean, why would I be? Like, what? Why would I be right now? Right?
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely not. It's something funny about you being like, I'm not in pants, and that's like a video store behind you. You're like, why would I?
At Blockbuster,
we don't
require pants.
They don't like pants in Blockbuster.
I haven't had a customer in years. So
he's by himself. He's like, when we work from home, I would take a nap. I would just be like, I could take a 15-minute power nap and just like sprawl out of my office and sleep on the little couch. But then it's like, I gotta go back to work now. Like, that sucks. But like, it was funny. Like, I think it was like not last May, but the May before that, like 2020. I had taken a break and I'd walked down like downtown Boston because all like the financial and like all like the corporate places, they were like, they're still shut down. No one's even gone back to them. So these like
okay, so they're still shut down.
Yeah. You get these like abandoned skyscrapers and stuff, and there's no one in there. And I'm walking on the street, and it's like it's eerie. Like tumbleweed blowing by you. Like,
yes, exactly. That's how Manhattan felt for a very long time. You're like, this is weird.
It's crazy. It's
where do you guys work? That your old school bosses are like, what are you?
We're near the seaport. We're like right next to the Constitution.
Yeah. Okay. Charlestown.
Okay.
But there are areas that were definitely impacted, like around near the garden where like where the buildings are, like that whole area. There is just so many bars and everything that just closed down for good that are never.
Dang, that's really sad.
That's really sad. It's like it's really pathetic.
Our entire youth, probably 50% of the bars are gone.
Wiped out.
We used to go pick up rides on Friday nights and stuff, and like make really bad decisions and stuff. That's gone. It's just like
the amount of times I slept in a bush outside some of these bars. Yeah.
Every place I've been kicked out of that place. Been kicked out of place one night.
No, it makes you realize though how many restaurants and bars are living check to check.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? I mean, granted, it was probably over 6 months for them, which is a lot, but you're just like, wow. And they're so busy. It's like there must be such overhead or just a lot of idiots own restaurants. Who knows? It's probably both.
Yeah.
It certainly separates that you can look and be like, you invested wisely because you're still open.
Right.
You were going paycheck to paycheck.
There was a bunch of bars down on Boylston Street, which was like a hit or miss place during the year. Like sometimes we'd be busy, sometimes not. It was more of a college hangout place, and a lot of them went out. But the reason they went out is because the rent was so high and the real estate was worth more than what the bar was paying for rent. The landlords were like, well, you shut down. I'm just going to evict you guys so I can knock this building down and build something bigger. You know what I mean? So to them, it was like, all right, we're taking a loss on this anyway, so we might as well do something with it. You know what I mean? Next day, you know what, the sledgehammer's out, knocking the building down. But like our buddy works at a bar that's predominantly only busy, or he used to work there, between like May through like September, right?
Okay, so like a seasonal one, yeah.
4 months of the year, and they would make like bank. They would be wicked busy every single night,
right?
Crazy, but it had to be a nice night. It couldn't be raining because then no one would go there. It was like an outdoor indoor bar,
right?
And they like made X amount of money during the the 4 or 5 months they're open, so you just shut down for 6 months. So it was kind of, and even those 5 months they were open, like last 2 summers, they struggled. Like it was like, and this bar has been here for like 30 something years. You know what I mean? It was one of the one of the survivors, but. Yeah, he said it was like it's weird. He's like the staff, they would have 20 people working, 10 bartenders on a night, and then they would just 2 bartenders working in a bar back. It's like, damn. It's like,
yeah, that's weird. Oh wow, they used to probably 10. That must have been a busy place.
Stupid money. You know what I mean?
Right. That's like, I don't know if you guys know Montauk. Do you guys know Montauk?
Oh
yeah. Okay. That's exactly like Montauk. Like people will go there just for the summer and make 20 grand and then bounce.
Yeah, it's basically, it's like the Cape or the Vineyard or any of those.
Exactly, where they're working insane amount.
Sadly, the first time I heard of Montauk was when that weird creature. It just ended up being like a dog or something. But it was like a creature. Something washed up along the shore, and it's called the Montauk Monster. If you Google it, you'll see this image of this creature. It looks fucking weird.
Wait, I want to see it.
I'll pull it up on my phone and show it right here.
Montauk Monster.
Yeah, the Montauk Monster. And so it does look like it's some alien creature, but it's not.
But then it was just a dead dog?
Yeah, it was like a really big,
sun gets to it, and like, think about it, like how things can look if they're in the ocean too long, and it's like, oh, let me see.
Some guy in the
Everyone's like, it's a crazy fossil, and then someone's like, no, that's just my dog I lost a year ago. Thanks a lot.
Yeah,
you never heard of the Montauk Monster?
I don't think so.
Like erosion?
Oh, my fucking green screen.
Oh
no, because it's a white background on this. God damn it, the monster's in white.
I'm gonna try. Wait,
look it up. Yeah, Google Montauk Monster.
I just picture some guy in a Yankee sack going, "Hey, bro, hey."
Oh wow, that is weird looking.
Yeah, it's because like the sun eroded part of its jaw, so it's like.
It looks like it has a beak.
Yeah, right. Isn't that creepy looking?
Yeah, but then you're like, oh god, that's really sad.
Yeah. The Montauk Monster.
That's how
sounds like it should be on like a minor league baseball team out in Long Island, like the Montauk.
Right. Speaking of minor league baseball team, you a fan of the Portland Sea Dogs?
I'm a fan of all associates of the Boston Red Sox.
Got it, of course.
Oh yeah.
I did not know that was a farm team for them.
It's the AA team up in Portland. It used to be the AA team for the Florida Marlins back in the day.
Okay.
Fun facts. I am like a baseball savant.
He is.
Oh yeah.
He knows years. I don't know how he does it. Like he'll be like, "Yeah, I remember I was at that game in 2005," and I'm like,
"Oh, so you go to all the games?"
I go to a lot of games.
You know, a lot of games. Yeah.
And like I'll be at work and I'll have my headphones on, listen to like some podcast, something like that, and I hear talking about baseball, and like my mind just like zones out, and like I'll just start rambling off random facts about something.
I love that. See, my husband does that too. He's like, well, he worked for the minor league Yankee team. Trenton Thunder Dogs.
Oh yeah, AAA team out now.
Yeah.
They got stadium got flooded, didn't they? During the was that the one that got flooded during the storms last summer?
Oh, he wasn't working with them.
Oh, okay, yeah, it was.
He was the athletic trainer, but he does the same thing, man. He'll just like riddle off dates, and I'm like, this sounds like the Rain Man. You're just like, what's going on? But it's also awesome.
I love minor league baseball. First of all, it's cheap, and I got a kid now, so it's easy to bring a kid to a game. So it's like, you don't have to pay the outrageous prices you'd pay at like Fenway Park or Yankee Stadium, right?
Absolutely.
I think the summer of 19, my wife and I went to, God, how many times did we go to? We went to like 20 minor league baseball stadiums, like in 2019.
That's awesome.
Like just bounced around, just bit a bunch of them. I think we covered all of New England at this point.
It's such a better vibe too. It's so chill.
Sure is, yeah, absolutely.
It is so chill. Like, like people are big fans, but they're not like crazy. And
yeah,
the staff is much more chill. They're like, all right, whatever.
It's
they're
funny
giving out free stuff.
Yeah, they do stuff between innings, and it's good for like the kids. The kids love it because they do like run in the field, or you do all this stuff, and it's like you only see like in really struggling Major League Baseball teams. Like, they really need attendance. Like, it's like, bring your dog to the stadium day. Or,
right. Get a free beer and bring your dog. And you're like, oh boy.
Free beers, or this goes back in the 70s when they did disco demolition for like the Tigers.
Wow.
So like the Detroit Tigers were so bad in attendance, they needed people to go. So they brought like this local radio station was like, if you bring a disco record into the stadium, you get it for free. And then like at the end of the game, we're gonna throw them into a pile in the middle of like the stadium and set them on fire. And all hell broke loose. Yeah, it was fucking crazy.
Which is like cool, but it's also who pitched that? Who was like, all right, guys, I got it. And they're like, oh, here we go. And he's like, we're gonna have everyone bring records in. We're gonna throw it in a pit. They're like, actually, that might work.
This is the rock of Detroit. We're gonna kill disco before we.
Exactly.
I got something for you. I just Googled each team's weirdest promotional item ever.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So we have the Orioles, the right to play manager for a day. This was back in the 50s. They had a selection of people behind the dugout that could help make decisions during a game.
Okay.
I can see that going good. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Red Sox had seat cushion day in 1982.
Interesting.
The Blue Jays had Derek Bell's car. Did he do something? 92.
Give his car away. Like they're
I don't know.
Lucky winner tonight's gonna be this guy's car.
Yeah. You get some random dude's car.
Nice.
Reggie Jackson energy bars.
Okay. It's just chewy granola bars in his face.
Joe Mauer sideburns day.
Oh boy.
Is anyone giving out condoms or like I don't
like fake sideburns? Oh yeah, I'm looking for that right now.
Like the New York Mets is giving out free pregnancy tests to the first 1,000 people that come in to make sure they're okay.
And the New York Yankees are giving out free AIDS tests. Let's go.
The White Sox had groundkeepers day bobbleheads. I will say to honor the grounds crew.
I mean, they should really have them for the Yankees because they're the ones that do the YMCA during like the 7th inning, don't they?
Oh, do they still do that?
I haven't been to a Yankees game in Yankee Stadium probably in, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. But the last time I was there, yeah, they would like 8th inning, they would come out and do the YMCA. And
imagine you're like, I'm a grounds crew, but you also have to dance. So if you can't dance, you can't be hired.
And just think of like how unproductive they are when they drop in the rakes. Like we want to, they're already complaining about how slow the game is, and those guys sitting there doing a dance between the innings.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, come on. I just need my second.
Yeah. Just your son's there to watch you work, and you're like, that's my dad. Ew.
The third raker dancer. Right there. The M.
Yeah, exactly. Oh God, that's weird.
I know like the dollar bear night they did back in like the 80s, and like I think it was Cleveland, and it ended up coming to like a riot. Riot patrol had to come to the stadium because people were just like unruly.
Wait, what was it? What was that?
Dollar bear night at a major.
Oh wow.
Can you imagine?
No.
Actually, it was 10-cent beer night.
Oh, it's even.
Oh, see, this is why there was a riot.
Ladies and gentlemen, come with $1, get hammered.
It was the Rangers in 19.
John Mulaney has a great joke about that. He's like says how it's like some of these bars have crazy specials like nickel shot night. He's like, pretty sure we'll die if we go to nickel shot night.
Nickel shot night, and there's a paddy wagon waiting outside to throw you in the jail.
Right, exactly.
Oh, we're gonna book you.
You get a free lift to jail.
It's like that's nothing ever gonna get happen of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Jesus. How are the bars in New York? I know you guys have like you need to be vaccinated to get into like all the restaurants.
Yeah, vaccine and ID for everywhere, but they're pretty packed out again.
God.
That's it.
How's the check-in? Are they thoroughly checking people as they come in, or is it kind of like?
Wait, you guys don't have to do that?
No.
Just at the Garden. Just for like Celtics and Bruins game, you have to be vaccinated.
You can go in a bar. They won't tell you to wear a mask. They won't have you show.
So
they might have you wear a mask walking in the door.
Boston's the only town. Boston, and a couple of the suburbs have a mask mandate,
okay.
And it goes very loosely because the only place Adam and I have been stopped in Boston is at the Dunkin' Donuts, where the 4-foot guy who runs the place yells at us in the morning when we go get our coffee. But other than that, it's like, here's your mask. And I go, what the fuck? I go, I don't have to wear this anything. And like one day I'm like, I don't have it. Like I get pre-ordered my coffee. I'm like, it's right there. I'm like, what the fuck? You know?
Yeah.
But I mean,
we're very strict. So I work in a restaurant and I work the door. Mm-hmm. And you're not coming in without showing proof of ID.
You like that?
Now listen, there's not everywhere. Like I walked into a bar last night and it was packed and no one stopped me. No one did anything. No one.
So
that's the thing. Like they're threatening to fine restaurants. So like we're kind of like a small, restaurants. So
yeah.
Your mayor is like, oh God, you'll be gone in a couple weeks though, right?
Yeah.
You get the new guy in town.
Yeah. That should be interesting.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Very curious.
Me and Adam were at we were at Game 5 for the American League Championship, and so we went to this bar. So all the bars in Boston, so like you're supposed to wear a mask, and like you don't have to wear a mask if you're actively drinking.
So no one wears masks.
No one wears masks. So we're in this bar, elbow to elbow. No one has, and I go to him like, "Are we supposed to wear?" With the guy let us right in. We didn't even have a mask on us. And
you're right.
I was at the game the night before at a different bar across the street, and so my wife and I waiting in line, and the guy's like, "You gotta have your mask." I'm like, "Okay." So we put our masks on, and then he was like, "We're selling masks for $1.50 if you don't got one." And I'm like, "Oh, it was this old big fat Irish guy sitting on front." I'm like, "Okay." So I'm like, "Damn, it sucks." I'm like, "We should go somewhere else." We go in there, not a mask to be seen.
Oh God!
Off the threshold. I'm like, this asshole is making $1.50 on disposable masks that probably cost $5 for the box. I go, this is the scam. I go, this is why.
Smart.
He's like,
pretty smart.
Don't get a mask. I go, one for you for $1.50. Here's $2. I don't get any change. Okay, so I guess I'm paying $2.
Damn.
So yeah, that's the way it's kind of going on up here. But thank God, the only place that makes you so. The Garden and for the Bruins and Celtics games, you're supposed to be vaccinated to get in there and to wear a mask.
Which makes sense because if they get shut down again, talk about going belly up. Yeah.
But like, from what I understand, no one's wearing masks inside there, and they're very lackadaisy on checking in the vaccine status.
Right. So once you're in, they're like, I don't care.
I have season tickets for both of them. I haven't been to a game yet, just because I don't want to wear.
Damn, you got season tickets for both of them?
Yeah, and
that's awesome.
Yeah, but I don't want to wear like a mask at the fucking game. I did it all last season because I hadn't gone to a game in so long in the Garden. So I'm like, all right, we'll wear a mask. And they were spaced out. They had like wire ties on seats. So it's funny. So like you go in there and they're like, all right, limited capacity. And so you had groups of 4, and then there was wire ties on the next 3 seats. And then it was that was like the first game. By like the 6th game, the wire ties were gone.
Yeah.
People were just like doing whatever they want. It was like,
you
know what I mean? It was like I was walking around the state, people not even questioning. I'm like, this worked really, really well. You know, it's like if you're gonna enforce it, enforce it. But if you're gonna be like a dick about it, like just reality. Come on.
Right. It's interesting because there are some places in New York where it's confusing. Like, and obviously there is a certain level that they have to follow, but some restaurants are very chill.
Yeah.
You know, it's like once you're in, and then other ones are like, put your mask back on when the server approaches the table, and you're like, this isn't fun anymore.
Yeah.
This isn't fun.
I gotta start a website and be like, these are the places, these are the cool places.
You know, there is, yeah,
there's probably an app for that.
Like Yelp for masks mandate and all that.
These people are lenient. These people are really, really good. I'm like, this guy, $20, you do what the fuck you want.
This guy for $50, you can cough in his face. He doesn't care.
You're really
just get in there.
greasing everyone, and you walk in. You're like, there you go. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, this is good. I don't have to worry about doing anything right now.
Exactly. Yeah.
It just, I can't wait to it. So me and Adam, I said to it today, is this fucking mask thing still going on? I'm like, I'm looking around. I'm like, come on, are we still doing this? I'm like, how long are we doing this for? Come on.
Right.
Yeah, it's almost been 2 years now.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like, all right, gigs up. Like, all right, I got it. All right, you guys.
What do you guys think about that football player that got?
Rodgers?
Yeah.
I don't care. I mean, whatever. I mean,
he's an ass anyway.
He's an asshole. I mean, I'm not a fan of Rodgers.
Well, I didn't know he was married to Shailene Woodley, so then I was like, everything makes sense, you know, because you're just like, well, no way she gets vaccinated. Like,
yeah, I know. She's like, I make my own deodorant.
Right.
Get my
she's
own
like,
water
I eat
from
tree
like the
bark,
lake.
so I'm and you're just like, what does that do? And she's like, it helps my immune system. And you're like, yeah, okay.
I feel like that's a default answer for anything. Why do you do that? It helps my immune system.
Yeah.
Right.
Everything.
I'm like really the type of person that's like, do whatever the fuck you want. I'm like, it's not bothering me.
Yeah, but you have a kid, right? That's what you said?
Yeah.
So what if you were a reporter and you were worried about your kid getting it? So he's in your face, heavy breathing after a game, like, I'm just really happy the game went well. And then
I would push my kid aside and jump in front of there so I can Aaron Rodgers' breath in my face so I can tell her what about it. Like, guess what? Aaron Rodgers just gave me the COVID. He's like, oh, did you bang him?
I'd be jealous if my son got COVID over me from Rodgers.
I'd be on Instagram like, bro, is my son right here? Got the COVID from Aaron Rodgers.
And everyone's like, wow.
Like, wow. Yes. Like, yeah, Aaron Rodgers blew breath in my kid's face.
So in a way, Arty,
he's like,
yeah.
So you're saying, Arty, you want Aaron Rodgers inside you? Is that what you're saying?
Oh.
Hey, listen, allegedly, Aaron Rodgers is down for some of that stuff. So
I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised.
I mean, he did have a male roommate. Like, he was a billionaire with a roommate for like up until a couple of years ago. And Danica Patrick said he was a little weird when he dated her. And who's the Who's your favorite actress, Adam?
Oh, fuck Olivia Munn. I fucking hate that bitch.
Wait, why?
She's just annoying. She's just a
She
little.
dated Aaron Rodgers for a while, and a roundabout way saying that Aaron Rodgers didn't like girls, without saying so. She's like, I dated this guy. Well, he was just very weird. He didn't like doing certain things with me, and he didn't like
sex.
Yeah, he didn't like the sex.
You're like, oh, all right.
Who she dated the last few years.
All right.
Nobody. Aaron Rodgers. I doubt it was nobody, because who cares about that guy?
Yeah, right. Right, exactly.
But like I said, hey, if that's what he likes, probably go. You do.
Oh yeah, no judgment on that.
Yeah,
but I do think it was like kind of fucked up that he didn't. Say anything.
I mean, it was funny because then they asked him what his answer was. He's like, "Well, I was waiting for a follow-up question," and no one asked me it. So I'm like, "Well, all right, well, I guess
it's true." Actually, to be honest, I mean, it is on him, but also obviously it's on whoever checks.
It's no one wanted to find out. That's the thing.
Right.
It's
they're like, you're vaccinated, right? And he's like, what? And they're like, great, check. Anyway,
it's like when you like anything, right? For any person of celebrity or who's that important to a franchise,
making money. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you go, how much information do you really want to find out with this person? Like, he could be like a real shithead, but like, you tiptoe around it because that's gonna be like, if be a whirlwind.
Right.
I mean, look at fucking look at any like celebrity or actor, anything bad happens to him. It's like, I really want to ask who's the creepy guy in Hollywood that was like molesting all the people?
Weinstein.
Oh, which one?
Weinstein.
You're right.
Did you really want to ask Weinstein what he was doing with that 12-year-old girl? No.
No. Yeah.
It's like, but I mean, it's sick, but
yeah. I like your podcast setup. It's very nice.
Yeah, so we used to do it together when I lived in an apartment. Adam and I would be elbow to elbow.
That's fun.
And we were doing it in the living room with like one of our roommates running around and my wife running around,
and the dogs
running around, and kids crying in the background. It was really, really fun. And then I moved like the week before COVID happened, and that for like the first month where everyone was like super freaked out, like we're not leaving anything, and then everyone was like, oh, all right, well, maybe we'll get used to this and see how this goes. So we set up the setup. So Adam and I we see each other.
I haven't seen Adam in 2 years.
He literally sits 20 feet from me in the office. But
that's cool.
But on Wednesdays we're separated by the World Wide Web. Keep this a distance,
It's actually kind of nice, I'm sure. You don't have to commute.
Well, yeah, and you don't have to like drink and drive after the show. So
right, that's important.
And like it was one thing, like I moved a little further outside the city, so he would have to it was closer, I guess, probably, right? When I was living in Revere, didn't know him now.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Now it's like a hike. Where I live, it's like pretty much on the New Hampshire border, so it's like a hike to anyone come to see me.
Oh yeah.
No one comes to see me. Like it's bad. But my sister did the same thing. She moved to the road, pretty much in Massachusetts on the Rhode Island border, so no one goes to see her. And she's like, yeah, it's good and it's bad.
Right. Probably quiet, less money.
When I was living in Revere, like I was literally one town over from Boston.
That's cool.
You get people. It was nice because the Ubers were like $10 into downtown.
Right.
But you just had people popping in all the time. And it's like, hey, I'm in the neighborhood. Like,
oh, really?
Sometimes. Yeah. People be like,
that's so funny. No matter how jam-packed New York will get, that will never happen here. You will never have people that are like, you know what? I heard you cooking and I decided to come down, bring some wine, have a chat.
Well,
that's what happened.
Most of it was there was like there was a strip club like a quarter mile away from my apartment. It was supposed to be, hey, I'm at the Squire Club. Do you want to come down for a beer? That was mostly. I was like, well, I can walk there.
Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, and it's like, all right, I'll come down for one. It's like 8:30.
Right.
It's like 2, and you're like, oh yeah, that was a long beer.
Like I had one beer.
I think you were going for a beer. I go, I did.
Just one.
She's like, well, why'd you spend $100? I'm like, well, it was like $20 to get in. The beer was like, I had a tip.
Right.
Right. Shot girl was giving massages. I'm like, well, no.
You're like, what? You're like, nothing.
It's like, I don't want to be rude.
Then she was in med school. Like, I mean, she's a future doctor. Like, I'm supporting her.
Your wife?
No, the stripper.
The stripper.
They're all going to med school,
Right.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
genius. They'll be like, oh, I can't survive without.
So many doctors to be out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just stripping to make it ends meet.
Whatever we gotta do. Well, Rachel, I know you say I leave at 9, but thank you for joining us. I appreciate it.
This was so much fun. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate for rescheduling. I think we had to reschedule a few too, right, for a little bit. But I appreciate you coming back.
I think so.
I don't know.
But yeah, I
don't know.
This was fun. Very chill.
Yeah.
Where can people get your information? Where's the best way to find you?
Probably Instagram.
Okay.
It's Rachel Williams with just the R and the W switched. I don't like to say it out loud because it sounds like I'm making fun of Asian people. So I just say Rachel Williams, R and the W switched, and that's that.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it was nice to meet you, Rachel.
Yeah, well, nice to meet you. We'll talk to you guys. We'll talk to you next time we're in New York.
Yeah, for sure.
So sounds good.
Let me know.
All right,
have a good one.
Have a good
night.
Bye,
guys.
All right.
Bye.
Nice.
She's nice. We didn't get into her comedy because we were. I always realize that. I'm like, wait a second, she's comedy, right?
That's the great part about our show, Adam, because you realize people come on and do these shows all the time and they just talk about comedy all the time, right?
I know. Yeah,
but
that's true.
We get to get into the person themselves. We get to learn things about them, right? And then we get to have some conversation, and then people will be inquisitive at the end, and then they go and find all the stuff that we're just going to talk about. Can you imagine how boring it is to be Tom Cruise and going to all these like shows and like, what was it like to be on the set of Mission Impossible?
Well, Tom Cruise is kind of a bad example because he does a bunch of weird shit anyway. Like he like dives and like.
But no one asked him about the weird shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you have I was watching on the plane, they had some free programming or something like that. That was like interviews, and you could tell they were like first year, like, you know, out of college, like interviews and stuff, and they were asking these celebrities questions and stuff like this, and they were so generic questions, and it was just like, ugh. I'm like, these celebrities must be get asked the same exact things all the time. And you listen to a lot of podcasts, and you listen to the good ones with like Joe Rogan, like you want to interview someone, but it will be like, so tell me about your movie. And he'll talk about the movie. And it's like, well, tell me about like this hobby you have. Like you're into like skinning like humans. What's that like? You know what I mean? It's like, wow, that's interesting. I really know about like what Paul Rudd's doing on his spare time.
Oh, I agree.
But, hey, it's the show, you know. Celtics are winning 66-53 right now.
Oh, so back to Feng Hua for a second.
Yeah. It was a fiery crash, right? Was I wrong about that, or was I making that up?
Well, the main reason why was because they had a bunch of dozens of maintenance violations and like forged documents of them and like no screening for any of their employees.
Yeah.
And there was a 2008 incident that killed one person and injured 6 others in a Manhattan Chinatown.
That's good. Yeah, I always have. You know, what are you getting to? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, the buses all can't run. I mean, how many buses run every day and how many accidents they have? So the statistics are pretty good.
It's true.
It was funny when I was working for the architecture firm that we're affiliated with at our office. There's this lady owned this garage in South Boston, which fixed the buses for, it used to be Feng Hua, but they had basically what they did was they changed their name to Lucky Star. Mm-hmm. And that's basically all they did. It was like the same corporation is in this facility that I went to go like survey the spot was for Lucky Star. And I go, Lucky Star. And I'm like, everything said Feng Hua inside there. And I was like, Feng Hua? Oh, no. She goes, we changed the names. I'm like, oh.
You were duped.
Okay. So I'm in there and they're like, yeah, it was really sketchy. It was like a garage. They were trying to put an apartment upstairs. I don't know. Fucking who the hell knows? So I was like, whatever. I'm just here for the show. But yeah, so that's what they do. You just change the names. Like, for example, remember Value Jet that blew up over Florida?
Yeah.
Well, they just changed the names to what was it? Air Trans.
Trans,
And then now Air Trans is now Southwest that they bought. But basically what you do is you have a bad incident, you just change the name. Exactly. Like if this show ever goes shitty, we'll just call it the Adam Mallet Show.
There you go. Yeah,
I don't even know. They're like, oh, I didn't even skip a beat. So there you go. We have posted, just so you guys know, 400 episodes have been posted on the iTunes. You can download 400 episodes of me, at least 201 episodes of this particular show of Adam and I, and probably about 300 shows with Adam involved into it one way or another through all the years. So there's a lot of us. Every show is about an hour, so that's 400 hours. How many days is that?
400 hours.
400 hours is what, 24 a day. You know, probably 100 something a week. It's probably
16.66 days.
16,
wait,
really?
Yeah, 16. Yeah, 16.66 days.
So you can listen to 16, almost 17 days of me. I would say probably 13 of Adam involved in that mix somehow or another. And Eric Danger Powers as well. And then so if you want to start from the beginning, you can get to my first podcast from 2006 when I was at WIRE Wentworth Internet Radio Experience.
If you really want to go insane, I challenge anybody.
Yeah, if you could,
24 hours, just fucking.
Yeah. If you want to listen to us for 16 days straight, I want to know, and I want an evaluation at the end. I'll bring you on. I'll buy you dinner. We'll take you somewhere. We'll buy you a gift. We'll take you to a Sox game.
It's a lot.
Yeah, let's do it. Maybe that'll be fun. I gotta get fat. I gotta get vaccinated. I gotta fucking get my skates sharpened. Me and Eric are gonna be skating on the Bruins ice.
Oh Jesus!
Monday.
Nice.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Maybe he'll blow me afterwards. We'll see how that goes. Hey Eric.
Just drop your trousers right there.
Yeah. What can we do? That'll be cool. I skated on the ice before when I was dating a girl who worked for JetBlue. They had JetBlue had just announced that they were going to be the partners of the Bruins, so they let people into the garden to go ice skating on the ice. And it was basically a bunch of chicks that worked there or who dads worked there. They just took selfies, standing on the center ice. None of them knew how to skate. Because you got to bring your own skates. They don't supply skates. You have 45 minutes just to skate around, and then they let you off, and then the next crew comes in. So it's kind of cool seeing that perspective down there. I haven't done, but that's basically what it's gonna be like. So me and Eric are gonna hold hands like we're at Roller World, and hopefully they play some 90s Motown music, and we're just gonna hold hands and just skate around the ice.
Oh,
really cute. So on Instagram probably. I don't hope his girlfriend doesn't get mad. I go, Eric, are you allowed to go? I go, hey, can you get out? Can you meet me at the garden at 4 o'clock on a Monday? And he's like, why? I'm like, so we could skate the ice together. I go, your girlfriend's not going to be mad. He's like, I'm just not going to tell her. I'm like, oh, I won't hashtag you. All right. Well, it's Wednesday.
It is
Thanksgiving. All right, next week. No
shit. You're right. No, yeah.
2 weeks from tomorrow. Is that Thanksgiving? Yeah, fucking A. Right?
Yeah, shit. Yeah, you're right.
All right. 2 weeks from tomorrow, Thanksgiving. So that's cool. And so we'll be on next Wednesday. We should do something the night before Thanksgiving.
We could.
Maybe we do a live broadcast that night at Margaritas in Revere.
Oh shit.
Maybe we could do that.
We could do that.
I could probably get that worked up. Well, at least we can get something going on.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, we should do that. Maybe I'll work on that because that'll be fun. Because it'll be the night before Thanksgiving. It's a fun night. It's a drinking night. Everyone goes out, has a good time, right? Might as well.
Who knows? There might even be a high school reunion there because that's a lot of time when people have them. It's around holidays, and Thanksgiving, and Christmas, right?
Yeah. So
that'd be hilarious.
Cool. All right, brother. Well, yeah. What do you showing? Where do you want people to go?
Well, you can always check out the Whirlwind Potato on YouTube. I am working on a new video. I've already written out the entire script for it, so all I have to do is film it, and that will be up within the next couple of weeks for sure.
Nice. And you get me on the Wicked Explorers, the Arty 88 show, the Arty 84 show, or the Baseball Fanatic on YouTube. I forgot my own page.
I still gotta check out that page.
I just do funny videos of baseball stuff, and off season I am struggling to find content, so I'm going digging. So until I get filmed, I just filmed. I was at the Charlotte Knights baseball stadium on Saturday. I walked around, filmed some stuff. I almost got in. The gate was open, and I go, I'm gonna walk around. If the gate's still open when I come back, I'm gonna pop in. And when I came back, the gate was closed. So I'm like, fuck! I should have just went in there. There was a girl that was working there who left the gate open while she was leaving. I think it was setting up for some Christmas extravaganza or something like that. And it was right in right field. I just wanted to pop in and take a picture of the field and kind of look around and shit like this. I'm like, I don't want to trespass, but if it's still open next time around. So I was on one of those scooters. Remember the scooters that they whatever with the birds or whatever the hell they call it. So I was pit packing around that, and very dangerous, by the way. I got mine up to 21 miles per hour with no helmet on in the middle of the street. So yeah, but cool. All right, guys. We'll see you guys next week. Toodaloo, motherfuckers. Bye. Peace. All right, Facebook. We'll see you later. Toodaloo. Bye.